welcome to another episode of the Weekly Journal. This is your host, Chuck Billionaire, alongside the one and only Billionaire Brown. What's going on, sir?
Everything is going on. What's up, Chuck?
Not much, man. I'm chilling, man. I'm looking at the snow and sort of devastated.
Wait, y'all got snow?
Yeah, it started snowing today, man.
Is it real snow or is it fake snow?
No, what you mean? What you mean, real snow versus fake snow?
You know, like real snow, like snow, like that's gonna stick with substance. You know, snow with substance.
No. It's definitely that's definitely covering stuff. Like when I head out in a little bit later on, I had to brush my car off. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Is it cold?
Yeah. No, not really. It's not freezing, but it's not. It's. Yeah, no. So I think it's like in the low 30s right now, high 20s.
Does it look like it's going to stop or no?
Yeah. It probably stops soon.
All right. Yo, do you remember back? Oh, I don't know if it doesn't seem like many kids do it today. When I used to go around, my friends and I, and we would shovel people's snow, like their walkway, their driveway, for money.
Oh yeah.
You see people do that still or no?
Nah, I don't know. That'd be interesting.
That was big money.
It was. Especially the older people, like, hey, give us $20, we'll show you your whole driveway.
Yeah, $50.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a good weekend. That's a Nintendo game.
That is, right? You said Nintendo game. Yeah, that's true. It is.
It was.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Or maybe Super Nintendo, but yeah.
Yeah, man. It's cool.
We didn't get no snow out here.
Oh, you didn't?
It's freezing. Yeah.
But no snow.
Nah, it's been raining really bad, like all day yesterday. It's a little rain now. It's supposed to turn to like whatever it's called when it not frozen rain, but it's called something.
Sleep? Is it sleep?
Maybe something like that. They've been talking about that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But hopefully by the time this particular episode goes live. So today is the 18th. You guys are listening to this on the 18th, but we're recording this on the 9th. Last week's episode, we talked about the power of goal setting, and we're going to just build upon it. So the last three episodes, bro, we talked about, episode 12 was the importance of implementation. Episode 13 was the importance of clarity, and last week's episode was the power of goal setting. So today we're just going to wrap those three into one and just kind of delve in, just give a overall broad brew. What is a
broad brew?
What is broad brew? Right. I'm not even gonna edit that out either. I'm gonna leave it.
You're supposed to say a broad brew. You said a broad brew.
Broad brew. That's when I'm tongue twisted. I'm not gonna edit out either. So people gonna hear that. A broad view perspective on.
Yeah, why fix it? You just leave it as broad brew. Go ahead. Yeah.
So we started with the so we kind of went backwards, right? We started with the importance of implementation, the importance of clarity, and the power of goal setting. So when it came to, when we talked about the importance of implementation, we talked about taking action on the goal that you set only after you've developed clarity, right? Then we jumped to, well, you have to be clear on what goals that you're setting. And in order to be clear on something, you have to set it. You have to set that goal in order to get clear on it. So it all ties in. And one is not more important than the other, but they're all equally as important. Now, I don't know if you agree with that or if you feel that one of the three is more important than the other. Of course, setting a solid foundation is always good. But, I mean, you can start out building a house with a solid foundation, but then stop. Right, you can't live in the ditch, right?
My man.
So you have a solid foundation, but if you stop building, then right, it's pointless, right? You just dug a hole to live in. I mean, if that's your goal, then that's fine, that's cool, right? You killed 3 birds with one stone. Right, you got a solid foundation that you're living in, so.
Yeah, your metaphor game just now. It should have been Fabulous. It should have been Jadakiss, and it should have been Chuck. Yo, that metaphor was powerful. You dug deep, literally, to give us the picture that you wanted us to see.
But it's important, right? I mean, you agree, bro, right? I mean,
of course, especially the digging the ditch and living in the ditch. That was good.
All right, so
I got it.
switching gears, by the way, this might be one of them episodes where it's just all over the place. I'm assuming you've heard the Fabulous and Jadakiss new one because you made reference.
Nah, I've only heard like three tracks on it.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's definitely a dope. It's a dope album.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's a dope album.
I'm still trying to dig in that Cameron though, that program.
Cameron he has a new one.
Yeah, he has. Well, I didn't listen to the whole. I listened to the whole thing, but I didn't listen to the whole thing. Old school. You might have listened to it, but you didn't really listen.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I listened to it, but I didn't really listen to it yet. Mm-hmm. But he got 3 real heavy old school Cameron Confessions of Fire type of flow.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan of Confessions of Fire, so
yeah.
He got some crazy. Like 3 solid ones. I think the rest is probably I won't even go back and listen.
Okay, so 3 solid ones. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I like my favorite one of the Cam was the SDE, the Sex, Drugs, and Entertainment.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was that tops number 1 of all my Cameron favorite albums.
Oh, so polished.
Yeah.
So polished. Oh my gosh.
Like that's one of them albums where you can listen and you don't have to skip any songs.
Yo. Yeah. God. Wasn't that with D-Rug? No, D-Rugs wasn't on there. Mm-mm. I was listening to that about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Oh well, yeah. I have it on my Apple Music playlist.
Oh my gosh! Hold on, let's list a few tracks that's on there.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Damn.
Oh, he has ODB on this. He has Prodigy, Noriega, Destiny's Child.
I remembered. Okay, what's the name of the tracks?
So the first one is the intro track is "Fuck You."
Oh yeah, fuck you.
Second one is "That's Me." Third one is "Whatever."
Oh my gosh.
4, "Do It Again." 5, "Come Kill."
Wait, isn't "Do It Again" the one with Beyonce?
Yeah, Destiny Child. Yeah.
If I could do it again.
Yeah, man, that album was definitely a classic.
Yeah, it was. Right. So you brought up the Freddie and Jason joint. So what do you think about it? Is it their best, or because that's a tough, like when you that's like a Nas and Jay-Z on a song. Remember back then it was like it'll never be on it. And then when they got on it, it was they met the expectations. And even on that first song, he was like they didn't even rap for like a minute. They was like, nah, we just gotta talk on it. Let them wait for a minute.
Yeah.
But in your opinion, did they meet the expectations, or did you feel a little let down? Because those are some of the nicest in the game.
Yeah, no, they definitely like it. Like they hadn't lost a step, and it's for me personally, it's like a breath of fresh air because comparing it to some of the other artists out right now, like we need some of that, like the old school hip hop back, right? We need the Fabulous, the Jadakisses, and the Nas's, the Jay-Z's, Talib Kweli. Like we need those artists back because I think I said this before on air that I'm not a fan of this new quote unquote mumble rap. And it's a good gym music, right? I may listen like to 1 or 2 songs just for entertainment purposes, but as far as substance, nah. Like the Fabulous and Jadakiss album, man, they go in.
That gumbo. They gave that soul food. Like, y'all eat that fast food, that McDonald's, but let me give you this home cooked meal.
Yeah, man. So I highly recommend. I think it's called F&J.
Who killed it? Did anyone overshine the other? Like M and Jay-Z on Renegade? Did one person like?
I'm gonna say Jadakiss had a hand up on Fab. Although Fab did this thing, I'm going to say Jadakiss had a hand up on Fabulous.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I like Jadakiss has. I mean, they both have bars, but I like Jadakiss's punchline, especially in the intro. If you listen to the intro one, me personally, I think Jadakiss's his punchlines and metaphors were like, yo, he ain't lost a step.
Ain't lost a step.
Mm-mm. Yeah, man. But,
and on a good note, keep on Jadakiss. Isn't it odd? Like who would have thought, like when we were growing up, I'm talking about the first Locks album, the second one, We Are the Streets, that they would be like someone like him would be on his whole health tip.
Yeah. Him and Styles P, they opened up their restaurant in, is it Philly? I forgot where they
got a few. I mean, they got the juice bars pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, that's huge.
But who would you have really like go back if you could just in your memory for a second?
Yeah.
And think of who they were, what they represented, who they stood for, and think like they talking about some like real health. Like even Styles was talking about how his daughter committed suicide and she was gay and all of that stuff. But he was talking like real, like I wish I would have known more about it. I never knew anything until it hit me. Like, isn't that crazy? I mean, it's awesome that these older like so-called gangsters or whatever are into health.
Yeah. And not just, physical, like overall health. Like Styles P was on The Breakfast Club and he was talking about it and he broke down on the air crying. He was just talking about, him having a better understanding of mental health, especially in relation to the world that the younger kids, the younger generation is growing up in today, man. It really is powerful and it's encouraging. I like the Locks back then, of course, Styles P.
Oh yeah.
Sheik Luke and Jadakiss. But now with the type of music combined with the fact that they're more aware, it's like wow, they're the same people, but we talked about
they've evolved.
Yeah, I was gonna say we talked about on the last episode on the Power Goal Setting episode. We talked about evolving and they've evolved, and their message is still the same, but it's delivered. I would say differently. I don't know if you agree on that. It was delivered differently, and it's like a more holistic view on matters that affect not only Black Americans but Americans in general.
Yeah, and look, if they can make healthy popular, man, that's gonna be really awesome.
That is
because the truth, when he was talking about to the gangsters. He was like, yeah, gangsters, they be looking at us like, yo, I ain't trying to eat healthy, drink some smoothie and eat fruits and vegetables. He was like, yo, you when something go down on in the hood, if people come or this world's about to end and it's time to go to war and battle, he's like, yo, y'all gonna be out of breath. You think you could fight like you just knock somebody out like 1-2, but can you last like if you get jumped? Like, are you gonna be able to last and be out of breath? And he was selling that health, even though I'm conscious of my health. I'm like, damn, that I never thought about it like that. But that'll get the gangsters and the ignorant folk and all the people that's not on the fence.
Yeah.
The way he articulated it was like, yeah, that's true. Like, you're gonna be tired.
Yeah. From a let's say gangster rap, put that in quotations, big quotations. From a gangster rap perspective, just imagine, like it's an image thing in my opinion. Like, can you imagine like back in the 1998, 1999, a DMX video and he's holding a green organic smoothie in his hand?
Stop. Yeah. Another metaphor. Yeah, you about to make me listen to that Jada and Fab, yo. He digging in his bag of tricks, yo.
But that's not appealable, unfortunately, right? He had the dog chain on and he was in the video, get at me, dog. Then he got a green smoothie in his hand. No, that is not the image that they're trying to give off, unfortunately, man. So it has.
You're funny. You're very funny today. That's good.
So unfortunately, it's going to have to be like a blunt, or it had to be a cigarette or 40 in his hand in that video, because that's the image, unfortunately, that goes with it. Like you said,
and he was living that. He was taking that stuff in his body too.
Who?
DMX.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't just holding the stuff; he was actually doing the stuff.
Yeah, man. But he, and not just DMX, but I think once you have
Earl Simmons. What up, Earl?
Yeah. Earl Simmons, man. I don't know if you've seen any of his Breakfast Club interviews, but he's like, DMX has a lot of knowledge, man. He's been through a lot of shit. But just listen to him and a lot of the demons that he's battling, man. But I think he got his stuff together now. From what I hear, I haven't heard from him recently, but I heard he got his shit together. And
hey, yo, D, what up, D? You the smooth nigga. I seen you, but nobody know who pulled the trigger. Yeah, it's always over dope. You sure? I could have swore it was over. Nah, that ain't me. Nigga, you stay fronting.
I ain't gonna say nothing. You
got the weed. Go ahead, smoke it. Go ahead, drink it. Go ahead, fuck daddy. You know I can keep a secret. I'll probably have you driving, probably a Benz, but we gotta stay friends. Blood out, blood in.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, man. He like back in that album came out when I was a freshman in high school, 1997. He epitomized like the confidence of a rapper. He like just like, and I still listen to that album to this day. Like just listening to it, like he's just so confident. Like his flow, man, it just ties into it's ridiculous, man.
You remember that song I think it's ATF?
Oh yeah, boom, 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 open the door. ATF.
Oh my gosh,
Too late for my girl downstairs to say he left.
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah. He took rap to a whole new level. And
he couldn't have lasted. If you look at certain things, like the guy, I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Bezos dies pretty soon, like in the next 5 years.
Why would you say? Why do you say that?
Because like same thing with Steve Jobs, man. I mean, we talking about health and diet and so. I mean, he was a fruitarian.
Who? Steve Jobs?
Yeah, like you can't make like Tupac, Biggie. Like look at the big Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. DMX has lasted as long as he had to fall off. You either fall off dramatic, like Mike Tyson, right? You either fall off or you die. When you're that impactful. That's
very good. Bro, you just expanded my awareness. Like I didn't even think about that. Like that makes sense. Like you've like Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world right now. Over $100 billion, I think is.
And he ain't stopping.
Right. But yeah, you're right, man. Like once you've made such a major impact on whatever, and like Steve Jobs, he revolutionized technology. Like he's like, what else can you do at that point? Right? Of course, technology is going to evolve, but still, like at that point, before he passed away, like the cell phone game, he changed. He changed this. He wiped out BlackBerry, wiped out Nokia, single-handedly. Right? He didn't have help of Samsung, and they single-handedly wiped out Nokia and BlackBerry.
Yeah, it's a drastic, like changing life. Like when you talk like DMX, like you just took me back just now. The fact that people like you and I, however you categorize that, we just said a verse without any background music to cadence us. We just said that
from 20 years ago.
From 20 years. You remember when the album came out?
That happened 20 years ago. I was a freshman in high school, man. I had my little tape player, my tape thing, and I was walking to and from school playing the DMX album.
And to figure out, this how impactful DMX was, right? To figure out who else dropped that year, you would have to base it all, you would have to build on that on DMX.
Yeah.
Like to figure out who else dropped that year, you would base it off of thinking about DMX.
Yeah, and you're right. Like going back to the impact he made. You're right. So none of his albums after that was as good as that. Dark and Hell is Hot. None. They were good. They were good, but no, we cannot.
Not as impactful.
Okay, yeah, not as impactful. They were good.
Okay,
they were definitely good. But Dark and Hell is Hot. That was a impactful.
Oh my gosh.
And that's another one. You don't got to skip any songs in there. Like you can.
Oh hell no! yo, that's a fight. You try to skip one of them joints? Maybe play one of them back or rewind it.
Yeah.
Like what did he say?
Yeah.
But you ain't skipping that.
Yeah,
nah.
Yeah, he was everywhere. He was. Everybody wanted to get DMX on there because they knew, like, this is what it is right now. You know, and a lot of the stuff that he rapped about, he personally experienced, right? And I think we may have talked about this before. I don't know if it was on like one of the first episodes where we were talking about how the artists today don't have the personal experience of what they're rapping about. They're listening to the albums that we listen to, and then they're creating their own story from that. Now, whether that's good or bad, that's not the point. The point is that rappers back then, when we grew up on.
Wait, no, is it good or bad? No, I'm gonna say it's bad. I think that's bad.
What? Oh, well, okay, yeah.
I think it's bad.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
Because of the form, because of the essence of what it is, it was just better back then. Like, think about it. What makes Drake so successful right now? It's because say he's not writing. I'm not even talking about the writing part, but supposedly he writes. Now, perception is our reality. So because someone threw it out there, it's now like a true, or it's like a thing. And it's that question.
Yeah, it's that question.
But he always says that he does. Everyone around him says that he does. But let's say that he doesn't, or he does.
Mm-hmm.
What makes him really great, just to add on to what you're talking about, is that he's not lying. Like, there's some exaggeration and stuff like that in his lyrics, of course, but he's not, this gangster. He's not selling drugs. Same thing with J. Cole, right? Yeah. They're not these gangsters. They're not killing people. They're talking about education, higher education, self-education, pushing, through adversity. I'm a college kid. I had a 4.0.
Yeah.
I was the president of my college, the college that I went to.
Yeah.
I think that still is necessary. The people who are rapping and living something different, I think that's, I don't know. For the new generation, it may be cool because they don't know no better. Yeah. And they probably think that everybody, even Jay-Z, DMX, and everybody else is the same, but it was different. What did Jay-Z say? Is you had to talk it. You couldn't talk it if you didn't live it. That was one of his bars.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jay-Z, he's sold drugs. DMX has sold and done drugs, right? Raekwon has sold drugs. Styles P sold drugs, right? But you said today's rappers, 21 Savage and Lil Yachty was a fresh, I think, a sophomore in college. I think he was, right? But he gets on the album and talks about selling drugs and all this. Like, you don't even do that stuff. Like, what are you doing? Future openly admitted, like, he doesn't do Percocets and Molly's, none of that stuff, but he raps about it.
See, and I think that's just as whack too, and that's just me. And
yeah,
I know.
I agree.
I think that's total, especially with something like drugs.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I think that's because all these kids listen to it, and the kids, they have a hard time deciphering. Like, do they do it or do they not? But a lot of these people that rap about it, they don't even do it. Same thing with their money. They talk about all this money they got, but they don't got no money.
That's true. That's true. And people get mad at Joe Buttons and because they say he's a hater. No, I understand where Joe Buttons coming from. Like, I don't know. Do you watch his he has a podcast, but have you watched him on Complex News?
I do watch it. I follow him on Instagram, so I do see the clips there.
Okay.
And because that's my guy in New Jersey. Come on now. Jersey. What up, Joey?
But yeah, Joe Buttons, and that's where Joe Buttons comes in. Like, he's upset at the fact that this is going on. Right, and people calling him a hater or Uncle Joe. He's old and bitter. Like, no, he came from the DMX and the Jay-Z generation. Like, no, he understands what's going on. He said this bullshit today. Ultimately, and that's my opinion, man.
Didn't he retire?
Joe, nah, he came out with an album last year, Raging the Machine.
I actually heard. I think I did hear that.
Yeah. He came out with that album is good. It's good. It's very, very, very good album.
Everything, Joe. My favorite Joe Budden song is 10 Minutes, hands down.
Is that a song or like a freestyle type?
I don't know, because you never know with Joe, but 10 Minutes, that's my, of all time. I love Joe, every song. I've never heard a bad song from him, including Pump It Up. He hates it. He says he never performs it, but that joint was hot. Especially from Jersey. He's like, pump it up.
Yeah.
Just blaze and it. Yeah, Joe Buttons. I don't know what we was just talking about, but he was against. What is he against now, or what is he not like?
So so there's a beef between him and the Migos. That he said is not a beef, but he's
the interview when he left, or the battle with the interview.
Yeah, where he walked off or something. Like
I saw that on the red carpet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's fed up with the bullshit. Like, and I agree with him, man. Their music is not good in my opinion. It's not. I'm sorry. If you're a Migos fan or 21 Savage or Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi, if you like their music, hey, that's more party. Me personally, that's not music.
Yeah.
I mean, we can put a hot beat on and start mumbling.
But you know what? Maybe that music, with respect to all the people you just mentioned and their artistry and music, they could put, I think this is what I believe. I believe all those names you just mentioned, they're going to be they're hot right now to a certain group of people, just like MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice was to us. And I don't care. You lie to me right now and you say you didn't like MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice, I will walk out of this interview the same way Joe Buttons did with Migos. But I'm not even going to let you answer. So the way we liked MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice at a certain point back then, but we do not like them now that we figured out who they are and what they were about. I think that's going to be the same with all those names you just mentioned. Very similar to even wrestling. You love wrestling. Then you find out, oh shit, this is not real. Some people still like it because it's a form of entertainment. Like, but as a rapper, you really don't want to be laughed at. Therefore, nobody gives you any money. Therefore, nobody puts a budget behind you to market your foolishness because now everybody caught up to you.
Yeah, that's a very interesting perspective, bro. And I agree. You know, like you said, Ice Baby, right? Vanilla Ice. You know that was my joint growing up. You know, MC Hammer, Too Legit to Quit. Right? You know, so
bars.
You're right. So I do believe that, but I just. And so going back to when we talked about Fabulous, and like I was really refreshed. Like I didn't even know they had one of my friends. You know, we're in a group chat, and he said, "Hey, Chuck, you know, Fab and Jadakiss dropped a new album." I'm like, what? So I looked it up. Sure enough, I'm like, wow, it's refreshing. It really is refreshing. Jay-Z's 444 just came out. You know, was it this year or was it last year?
This year.
It came out. Jay-Z's 444 album came out this year, right? So. I'm waiting for a Nas joint to drop, right? So,
oh my god!
You know, so Cameron just came out with another album. You know, and then of course there's other artists like Sahai the Prince.
Yo, did you know Public Enemy still drops albums?
Did not know.
Yo,
I did not know.
Let me tell you how small we think. Right? Well, I'll just put myself in the category. I think so small. I was talking to this guy the other day, and because his DJ, you remember that place when you came down, I played ping pong at the place called Heroes. Yeah. So the DJ there, he comes every Saturday. He's the DJ of Public Enemy. I wasn't talking to him, but I was talking to, he comes every Saturday. Very well-known guy, you know, obviously everybody knows. So I'm talking to this guy out of New York, and he gave me his top 5 rappers, and I'm like, he says he says Chuck D. I'm like, Chuck D? I'm like, yo, but he hasn't been around. He said Public Enemy still drops music. So I tested him. Yeah. I'm like, who's their DJ? And he said the guy's name. I'm like, oh, shoot, this dude is a real. He said, yeah, Chuck D drops an album like every year or two. I said, I thought the last album they had was 911 is a joke in Yo Town. He said, no, they drop music like all the time. They're fresh on the tracks.
Yeah.
So that just put things in perspective for me, how small I be thinking. I'm like, people are checking for Chuck D right now. Like, what? Yeah. Like, that's great. And I never hear about him.
Yeah. But
powerful. Somebody's checking for somebody.
Yeah. But I think the challenge is that because that's not what sells, right? So I wouldn't say it's more so of like us not checking for it per se, but it's not what sells, right? If you go on any hip hop website or world, you're going to see what the artists I said earlier, 21 Savage or Lil Yachty. Like, no one knows Talib Kweli dropped another album with Styles P. Like, nobody knows that, right? Nobody knows, like you said, Public Enemy dropped another album. I didn't know Cameron dropped an album, but I knew. I know Lil Yachty just dropped one. I knew 21 Savage dropped the album. It's unfortunate. I wanted to say that, man, you know. Like, I'm not mad at the newer artists, but at least keep it balanced, right? Say, okay, well, Cameron just dropped a new album. Fabulous and Jadakiss just dropped a new album. Talib Kweli dropped a new album. You know, Sahai the Prince. I haven't listened to his album yet, but I did watch some of his freestyles on YouTube, and he's the truth. I don't know if you listen.
Have you heard the Meek Mill's wins and losses? Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Listen. If you ever get a chance, look, why my nephew try to play me, right? He's telling me about all these different, he keeps me in the loop with, up to date stuff.
Yeah.
So he's telling me about all this stuff, right? And then I'm like, I try to put him on. I'm like, yo, you heard that new Meek Mills, right? He's like, who? I was like, yo, you just did that, yo. Like, yo, but he knows who he is.
Yeah.
But he was trying to play me like, yo, who? I ain't listening. But listen, I'll say this. If you listen to a song called 1942 Flow on his album Wins and Losses, if you listen to that and you think it's whack, then I'll respect you.
All right, Meek Mill, Wins and Losses.
1942 Flow is the name of the song. There's a whole bunch of other ones, but if you can't get that, that's like, the Saint Pablo or the Kanye album. If you don't like Ultralight Beam, then you don't like the album.
I got you.
And it's the same. If 1942 Flow on the Wins and Losses Meek Mill album you don't like, then you shouldn't listen to the album.
I got you. Okay.
That joint fire.
Okay, cool. All right, so since we not their name, so there's one guy, I don't know if I'm pretty sure you heard of him. Tory Lanez. You heard of Tory Lanez? He's from Brampton, Canada, Ontario.
All right, tell me more. I think I've heard him, but I'm not sure.
So
is it the guy with the face? Like he has the Donald Trump hat on?
No, I'm not sure. I haven't
okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that one. But I said it because, of course, he's from Canada, and so is Drake. And he has sort of that same like singing / rapping style as Drake. However, he was on the Funk Flex, doing a free Funk Flex, bring artists on to make freestyle. When I tell you this guy, Tory Lanez, did a freestyle, and the talk is that he's comparable to Drake. Not a chance. Not like when I tell
be careful. I feel you're about to jump out the window right now. Don't be respectful. No. But go ahead.
When I tell you this freestyle was probably one of the best freestyles I've heard of 2017. I don't see how, on a rapping perspective, Drake can even touch this guy's level.
Wow.
I was gonna say it, and if
that's
I could,
powerful,
and if I could play if I could play it,
that was real. That was no, but you wait. Are you saying? Let me get clarity on this. You said it wasn't. That's probably the best freestyle that you heard of 2017. Are you? Is that only him and Drake involved? Or are you talking about everybody?
I'm talking about. I didn't heard. I didn't heard Cypher the Prince freestyle. I didn't heard a freestyle by Lloyd Banks this year. I didn't heard a freestyle by who else dropped one? Loaded Lux dropped a freestyle on Funk Flex. This one was probably
the Loaded Lux was crazy. I'll give you that.
Pat Poose dropped.
Pat Poose, that was whack.
What?
Pat Poose fell off. Pat Poose fell off. And he could continue doing his Remy Ma thing,
Yeah.
Shout out to all my boss, wife and midget. Oh, that was disrespectful. My bad, Papoose. I just barred him.
But I'm wondering if I can. I don't know. Do we get copyright infringement if we play and we just link to it in the show notes? Say, hey, this is not we don't own this content. But
that I don't know.
Nonetheless, all right. It's a 7-minute joint. I'm not gonna play the whole one, but I'll just play parts.
Hold on. Wait. First off, all right. So now, can you? How long are you gonna play this?
Probably like a minute or two.
Okay, a minute or two. So I want a minute or two of my Joe Budden's Flex freestyle.
Okay.
To be played.
Okay, I'll pull that up.
And I'm gonna say this: you excluded a name, and it's my son's freestyle on Flex this year.
His was good.
Fire.
Was great. His was great.
But I'll take my Joe Budden. You play your Tory Lanez. And I'm a listen. I want to hear a minute or two of Joe Budden's. Be fair. Don't play a minute of Joe Budden's and 2 minutes of him.
I'm okay. All right, I'm gonna do a minute and a half.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a minute and a half. So let me
bars.
Let me get it together. Again, we don't own.
Shout out to Funk Flex.
Yeah, shout out to Funk Flex. We don't own this content. Hot 97.
Hot 97.
All this information will be in the show notes. Again, we do not own this music. Do not own this content. This is all on Hot 97 Funk Flex show.
And if you're on YouTube, #freestyle086, Tory Lanez freestyle on Flex. Repping Canada, Tory Lanez.
All right, so I'm pulling it up now.
He looked like Odell Beckham Jr. without gold hair.
Know what it is? Funk Flex, Ciroc Studios, Tory Lanez.
Shout out Ciroc.
Which is here.
What up, Puff?
I'm thinking instrumental. Let's get to it.
Let's get it.
Let's do it, Earns.
Turn it up a little bit.
Off the Nas beat too.
Yeah. Tory Lane's got the block on, whiplash. The cops on, draw quick fast on my shit stash. I keep a big fifth stashed in the whip dash. Trip catch 6 in a second like quick flash. Bitch pass if you ain't letting the click smash. I switch tags just so I can let my chicks brag. Niggas hold swag, ain't half my chicks bag. No jokes, those that get you smoked like quick drags. I click fast and bang your bitch ass. Brain from your chick in the whip that I just crashed. Sound wild like Tory putting the dial down. Try and make a bitch bow down in the chows. Don't you know I sing songs with a mink on that have chicks dripping like the sink in they string thong? I ding dong ditch bitches when the fling gone with a mink on and 4 fingers that my rings on. Quit drawing like you don't know my dick gone, like I ain't been up in your chick dome since the flip phone. My ice rocky, nice jockey. So much maple leaf money, niggas think I'm playing ice hockey. I'm that fly type, move through the night cocky. Bitch, I look so good, even the dykes watch me. I'm on Titan with a bad light skin. Rain so much water, they think we about to have lightning. When I spit, niggas think I'm in that lab fighting. Niggas think I'm left hooking.
Okay. All right. So that's a minute. I'll give it a minute.
I thought you said a minute and a half.
All right. So let me finish. All right. So we got another.
Dang. See, you trying to figure out a way to cut my Joey out. You trying to cut Joey down.
Thing is, I ain't in that lab writing, nigga. Everything is off top. Word in my ball spot. I used to have to stash work in my bra spot. Cops came, had to stash work in a bra strap. Phone calls on my connect is just a call drop. We don't count down on those. That's a ball drop. Come on, I put 10 of y'all niggas on blocks. Twin fives put like 10 of y'all niggas on shots. We can do it however y'all niggas want rock. Make this shit pop like oil in a chrome pot. And it don't stop. I'm not a picture painter, but I will put a nigga in his own chalk. I let the nine spill. I got an ill little shootout.
Okay. All right.
He said off top, shout out to my ball spot. So many Maple Leafs, they think I playing ice hockey.
Yeah, man. And again, he's from Brampton, Canada, which is one of the provinces of Canada. But yeah, but he's like that the whole like he turns it up about like 3 or 4 minutes in. He turns it. It's a 7.5 minute freestyle, but he turns it up about 3 minutes in. So, all right. So let me. And I did watch the Joe Budden one on Fun Flex.
Okay.
I did. Let me go there. Freestyle.
Jersey's in the house right now. Shout out to Jersey, Cherry Hill to be exact. Yeah, Brick City. What up? What up, Jersey?
All right. So
Funk Flex.
All right, so again, if we don't own this content, it's a Joe Budden freestyle. Hashtag 001 Hot 97.
What up, DJ Flex? Tell the truth.
You know what it is, Funk Flex.
What up, Funk Flex? Hot 97.
Bars. Freestyle.
Bars. A lot of y'all don't know nothing about that. You're going to find out today.
That's what we're doing today.
Oh.
1, 2, 1, 2. First of all, I want to shout out the house gang.
What up?
Second of all, I'm trying to. First of all, I want to shout out New Jersey.
What up, Jersey?
All I want to shout out Flex. I love everybody, man.
I love everybody too. Let's go.
Look, it's like my little dude smile with excitement asked if I know. Wait, I stopped the whip, didn't acknowledge it. I figure most of these styles I Godfathered it. That's Godfather shit, words be my only hollow tip. That moment, like I could stop time, like with that hollow kid. Got with the Apollo shit. Wait, here's a glimpse of my stake, and then if you made niggas couldn't commit to successes without my mistakes. See, I tend to think in opposites, never moderate. Look, mama, I made it this far without a scholarship. The drama bouncing multiple commas. I deposited all the more reason. Look up, guess I'm an optimist. Nah, I'm a pessimist. Speak with such honestness. Bound to keep it funky with the bloodstream of parliament. No argument. Following the blueprint that my hood broke. So every footnote, put my foot in that quote. The way it appears, grading system ain't fair. Same result as the turtle chasing their heads. What these races have been, the different paces to get, help them making that clear. You niggas ran off on the plug, not me, I stayed right there. So if it's gotta be a thing, the shotty gonna be clean. You see the rage is even deadly outside of the machine. Anytime they thought they had me robbed, got nothing off me. Leaners had to drop uptown, brother was saucy. The Nina woke the dreamer right up. Cup of coffee, blanket of 9, all them niggas. Hey. Fab, what
All right, that was
Hey,
about a
man,
minute
what
and
up?
a
I
half.
see you, my nigga. You cool?
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that was about a minute and a half.
Joey.
Too. Yeah, man. So all right, okay. So let me, and I wish we could have played the full clips of both of those. But what did you think of the Tory Lanez freestyle?
Doesn't sound like he's from Canada.
It doesn't.
Sounds like he's from New York.
Yeah. actually, I thought he was for some reason, I thought he was from Baltimore, because in that particular video, it looks like I can't really see it, but it looked like he was wearing an Orioles hat. So I thought he was from Baltimore. So I'm like, why are they comparing him to Drake? But then I found out he's from Canada. Like, okay, well, understandable. He's a young guy, 25, so.
Yeah, but he's I think he's dope. I think he has, bars. I would, being that I don't know who he is, I would put him in the same category as like a Murder Mook, where he has extreme bars. He can freestyle.
Oh, yeah.
I want to listen to him. I want to hear him.
Yeah.
But there's always a transition, like from college to the NBA. There's always that transition from freestyling or dropping bars to making a song.
Yeah.
And that's where I would like to hear him make a song. But I would only give him, because he's so good, based off what I just heard, he's so good, I would only give him one song.
Yeah. Okay. And of course, Joe Budden, he delivers as always. That that's never disappointing.
Never. Well, at least for me. But I'm biased.
Yeah.
Because I've never heard have you ever heard a bad Jay-Z song before?
I wouldn't say bad. I mean, I wouldn't play it again, but I wouldn't say bad.
You would see. You wouldn't play a Jay-Z song again?
Well, some of the ones I didn't like so much.
See, I've never heard a bad. That's like asking me a Jay-Z.
That's amazing. Like
I've never heard a bad bar, a bad song, a bad album.
Yeah.
Nothing. Bad interview, bad video clip. Never.
Yeah. And that's pretty amazing, especially when he's what? I mean, I think he's in what? 10, 12 albums in, 13 albums in?
I don't. Okay. Probably around 13, 14, give or take one or two.
Yeah. So that's that's pretty amazing.
The only other person I've never heard a bad bar or song from is Black Thought. But he never give me, more than enough. So
yeah. But he's especially when on the Jay-Z album, when he says he lyrically he wished he could be something like Talib Kweli, or I'm not sure how that line went. That shows respect to Talib Kweli. For Jay-Z to say, I wish I had bars like you, or I wish I can spit like you, that's big.
Yeah, Talib was, man, he had the game in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, because he's not mainstream, but to me, he still does. Like his recent album with Styles P, all those on like 7 or 8 tracks on there, man. That's a good album. Message is good. That's
an EP though, not an album, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Talib. What wiped people like him out is it was a whole genre of like a culture that was created. Because you got to remember, when Talib was on fire, Mos Def was on fire, Common was on fire. That's when also they had the R&B connect too. The R&B was the plug, that neo soul with Music Soul Child, Jill Scott, Flowetry. That all meshed together.
It did.
And how did that like disappear? It like really just disappeared overnight in a way.
It was a transition, and not a good one in my opinion. I say that because, if you look at the songs and the messages that those songs were portraying out, it was a positive message more times than not. And unfortunately, because this is my opinion, guys, you listen, this is my opinion, because it resembled I think the same type of atmosphere that was when the Black Panthers were around. Like, not obviously tying it into, what I'm saying is just a positive, the positive mindset that was penetrating through Black America through that, like the Flowetries and the Sade's when she came out. Well, she was actually 80s and early 90s. So
why there he go? Why do you do that just to get under my skin? Why would?
All right.
Next, you're gonna say Maxwell, and you're gonna say Kim.
That was bad. Yeah, I didn't mean to shy. Yeah, that was bad.
But she doesn't even fit into that category.
She doesn't.
She
definitely doesn't fit into that category.
Yeah, you need to meet Sade one day.
I think she's going on tour again.
You need to be there, and she needs to send you and your lady some front row tickets to be there.
I went. Me and Andre went when she came to DC.
You need to go again, again.
So but yeah, man. I don't know. Music has evolved. I know we keep using that word over and over again, but it really has. So I don't know, man. But one thing I wanted to tie in, and I know we got to start, wrapping up here, is that music artists are entrepreneurs, right? In the grand scheme of things, they're entrepreneurs.
Not all of them. Very few.
Well,
maybe 5% of them are entrepreneurs.
Well, I'll say they have the potentiality to transition into entrepreneurship. I mean, I guess everybody has.
Yeah, everybody does. Yeah,
but because we're talking about music artists, what I'm saying is, like, a guy like Tory Lanez, would you consider him an entrepreneur?
I don't know much about him, but I would assume that he's probably not.
Okay. Well, so what I mean is that he obviously has a skill. He's gifted, rapper, and there was a couple of songs. So I listened to songs on Spinrilla. I don't know if you have that app. It has like a bunch of mixtapes, and he has a bunch of like R&B mix. So he's also a singer. Like, him and Drake are similar as far as what they do is rapping and / singing. So he sings as well. So he has a skill that's marketable, right? You have a skill that's marketable, right? I have a skill that's marketable. So I say, and just because he may not have like a business infrastructure set up, I do think he's an entrepreneur.
How do you define an entrepreneur?
Somebody that's skilled enough to take that skill and utilize it in the marketplace without having to be under a certain corporation or regime or whatever. So, for example, like say he signed. Let's say he signed a Def Jam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say he signed a Def Jam, and he put out 1 or 2 albums, but then Jeff Sand say, you know what, we're about to get rid of you, right? So he can say, okay, well, how about I just leave? I'll go to I'm skillful enough. I have the talent. Let me go to Interscope, and the Interscope will sign me. And if not, he can start his own label.
So an entrepreneur, are you saying an entrepreneur has to ask if they can come or go?
I see where you're going. So no, you're right. No. So yeah. So in that case, no. You should be, as an entrepreneur, you should be able to get up and move in how you feel you need to move. Right. There shouldn't be anybody. Hey, can I do this or can I do that?
Okay, because the first part of what you defined it as, I would say yes, he definitely is an entrepreneur. But if he can't,
yeah, I agree.
Because there's nothing wrong with I mean. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Same with like a Lil Wayne, a Drake.
Yeah. And these guys have such an influence because music is highly influenceable, man. Like, you can use music to change somebody's state immediately, right? If you're ever feeling down or feeling bad or going through a tough situation, you'll hear a lot of times people use music as sort of a way to, like, form of healing, like, or to get themselves out of that situation, or at least help them view it from a broader perspective. Which is why I respect really great music artists, not blame. I'm not gonna say him.
Like Hove. He said, "I know you ain't running around here talking numbers, right?
Yeah.
I know you ain't talking like a boss, but you a runner, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was talking about Drake, by the way.
Oh, he was. Oh, yeah. I know him and Drake. But yeah, man. So I don't know. Great show today. I really like today's show.
Yeah, it was good. I gotta listen to it. You got me on. I'm gonna listen to the Fab and Jada.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro. Like,
yeah.
You use Spotify or Apple Music?
Neither right now. I'm just using the iTunes. I just buy, and I'll use YouTube.
What you buy? You buy? Well, I guess the same.
Yeah, thing. I buy. Yeah, if it's good, like I buy. I just bought DMX, the first album.
Uh-huh.
I just bought. I only have like maybe 40 songs that I've bought.
Okay.
My bread and butters, yeah.
And then YouTube. Okay.
And YouTube is my free place.
Yeah, you can get a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Find pretty much anything, man. Pretty much anything. But yeah, bro. So I guess health tip.
Health tip would be I'm struggling. I guess to tie in, what is it? Power of setting goals implementation, and clarity, right?
Yeah.
So I've been, you guys know, I just at the age of 36, 37, I'm now developing the habit of brushing my teeth twice a day. I don't want no kudos. I'm sure it's something everybody does, that I'm late to the party. But now the next step was for me to begin flossing, and flossing is very difficult. Like it's so funny that I've had the dental floss, I've had it for about 10 days now.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep saying, because I've programmed myself from as a kid, like, yo, flossing is hard. It's like one of those things. It's like on my bucket list in a weird, stupid way. Like, I wish I could, be one of those people who floss.
Yeah.
So I have this thing in my head that's blocking me from actually I didn't even open it yet, bro.
Or the floss?
Like, I have it right here in my hand. I haven't opened it because I have this. I don't know how long I'm supposed to do it. I don't know when I'm going to do it. But it's right here. I have it in my hand.
Yeah.
Right here, and it's still in the package.
Wow.
And I've had it for about 10 days, and I have it right next to my workplace.
Yeah.
But I have not used it yet. And it's a fear. It's a mental problem that I have, and I will break it. I'm going to break it very shortly here. But I said that's the health tip because, for one, it's something that I'm struggling with and that I'm working my way through. And for two, flossing is something that's very important to not just your hygiene, but your health, your overall health. Flossing is.
Yeah.
Am I late to the party? You already floss?
No, I don't floss as consistent. No. I know I need to.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Floss more. Yeah. So my health tip is, it's actually not a health tip in terms of like physical health. It's more so mental health. So I've recently, depending on, because I've done it before and added it right back, but I've deleted. So let me ask this, bro. Are you familiar with the winter solstice? The winter solstice?
Say it again.
Are you familiar with the winter solstice? Like so it's like, have you heard that term, winter solstice? SOLSTICE.
Yeah. What about it? So I don't know much in detail, but I do know about it. I'm aware.
So they say that during the winter solstice is a time for like rest and rejuvenation. Right? Like, of course, how the earth goes through seasons, spring, summer, winter, fall, winter. They're saying the winter time is when you do rest and rejuvenation. And so I'm bringing that up because I'm going to bump up my my reading like tremendously. I haven't set a goal yet, which we were talking about on the last episode. Was I need to set a goal for how many books I want to read this year. I think I might set a goal to read 100 books for this year, and that's this, or going into 20.
What's the most you've ever read?
The most I probably read was like 20.
All right, that's good.
20, 25. But I'm really shooting for 100 books this year, and to do that, at least for the next several months, I've deleted all social media apps on my phone. So I don't have Facebook, Instagram, anything on my phone. So when it comes to business entrepreneurship, well then, Chuck, how do you plan on marketing and whatnot? Well, you can still do that from the desktop, right? I don't need my phone to market. Will it make it easier? Of course, right? But I'm trying to discipline myself to instead of reaching for my phone to see what's going on Facebook and Instagram, to pick up a book and grab it. Like, so during my commute, I know what I mentioned before, where I commute now to work, and my commute is almost 2 hours. I read books now. The book I'm reading right now is Tony Robbins' book called Unshakable. If you heard that one, I think it came out last year. It's a book on investing, pretty much, how investing and the philosophy and pretty much how to get your money game right. So I'm about halfway done to this book, and then once I'm done with this one, I'm going to start on the next one. So the health tip is, I know I've said all that.
So 100 books in 2018.
Yeah, starting now. So December.
So how many are you going to finish for the rest of this year? Saying you said it's starting now. So starting now, sit. Hey, that's how you end a motherfucking podcast right there. Sit.
Yeah,
sit.
Yeah, I'm shooting for 3. Yeah.
No, you ain't shooting. Nah.
So
no shooting.
All right, let's say 2.5 because like I said, I'm already halfway through the Tony Robbins one. So you know what? No, I'm counting that one.
Yeah, count that.
Yeah,
you just need 2 more after that. Shit.
Yeah, after that, yeah. So that's my goal, and you know,
so you popping off 2 books a week?
Yeah. You mean to get to the 100 by?
You said starting now. Come on, don't make me like I'm giving them. I'm just getting clarity on the numbers. That's 2 a week.
2 a week, yeah. That'll be 2 books a week. It's gonna be tough.
2 a week.
But even if I get 75 or 80, I'm.
Oh yeah. Listen.
I'm sticking to 100 books. 100
Come on,
books,
man.
100 books between now and the end of 2018.
Have you ever read Who Moved My Cheese?
No, I need to.
See, that one right there, it's a big, thick book, meaningful, lots of substance, but it's so good, I promise you'll knock it out on one of your commutes, either back or, what's your commute, 45 or an hour?
Hours, it's actually about 2 hours one way.
What?
Yeah, well, I'd say about an hour and a half, so if I would leave here,
Wait. You're lying.
I'm dead serious.
And I didn't know that. I thought it was 45. You're saying an hour and a half?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you would easily knock out Who Moved My Cheese on one way.
Okay. I got that down. And that's Brian Tracy, right? No.
Nah, but he's read it before, I'm sure.
Okay.
And all of the greats have read it, including Tony Robbins.
Okay. Cool. All right, Who Moved My Cheese? All right, yeah, I got that written down.
Damn, 2 a week. I know that's right.
So yeah, so that's gonna be my focus. Is increasing. A lot less TV. I don't watch a lot of TV now as it is, but I'm gonna even cut my TV time in half even more. So I'm really because at the end of the day, as we transition into 2018, it's about a couple of weeks. Like I said, today is the 18th. So as we transition into 2018, man, people we need to realize that we can't keep doing the same things that we're doing, or we'll keep getting the same results we always gotten. Right? That's the definition of insanity. Like, how come my recipes turn out the same? You ain't changed nothing. That's why you keep putting 2 cups of water when it says put in 2 cups of milk.
Damn. Yeah, there's another metaphor. Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah. So be sure to check the show out. We're on iTunes, iHeartRadio. Don't
just check us out though. Write us a damn review. Yeah. Write a review. It's really that simple. Yeah. Remember back in the day, they couldn't do it on their phones.
Yeah, now you can.
We know you listening to us on your phone. We know that. So just as soon as this is done, just go, right? Subscribe, of course, but then you scroll down. There's a write a review button. You give us however many stars, 1 star, 2 star. I personally say, especially if this is your first episode hearing us, this was a 5-star. So you should give us a 5-star. It's going to say title. You write, whatever, boom, and then the description.
That's it.
You don't have to write like a story about us. Just like, dope episode or whatever.
Yeah.
We appreciate it though. Write us a review. We appreciate it. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, whatever. We appreciate it greatly.
Awesome. All right. And then until next episode, bye for now.